Hi there, welcome back to the third and final episode of Every Launceston Bus. Over the past two videos we've caught 21 of the 28 bus routes, so in theory this episode should be nice and easy. In reality, the remaining routes are some of the least frequent and most awkward routes, including a service that runs once a day at dawn, and a service running on Saturdays only. So without further delay, you can join me at 6:30am, well before the sun is up. I have to head into the CBD to ride the first route of the day, the 785. This service runs one round trip per day, weekdays only. It departs this stop in the city at 7:22 and runs for 30 minutes up to Exeter in the semi-rural West Tamar region. My plan for this trip hinges on a 0-minute connection in Exeter onto a southbound service. I've been looking at the track of a previous 785 service, and I think there's a chance of it happening, but this will be tight. If we miss the connection, we're not out of it yet, but it means we'll miss one or two routes this afternoon, so let's join the real-life me at City Interchange stop D2. The bus is here early. We leave at 7:22, which is in a couple of minutes, so I'm not stressing the time. It's there. I don't expect to make my connection in Exeter. It's a very narrow one, so I have a plan for the likely event where I don't make my 0-minute connection onto the 788, which it'll mean I'll have to do a bit more on day 5, but besides that, it's not too bad, and it gives me like 2 hours in Exeter, which is probably one of the furthest places we'll get today, unless one of my plans goes through. Okay, update. I'm in Exeter. This is incredible. It's so foggy. The bus did drop off at a different spot than it said it would, which would have jeopardized my 0-minute connection, but the other bus is running. No, we were running early enough that I can go and get the other bus. So I'll see you again in Lagana. Alright, we've made it to the outer suburban hub of Lagana. I spent a full hour resting here before it was time to go and catch the infrequent Route 782. This is one of two Lagana loop services, the other being the much more frequent 780. This service fully duplicates the 780, plus a bonus deviation into Nobelius Drive in the northeastern area of Lagana to serve semi-rural areas there. Great, we've just finished a 782. We're back in the Launceston city now, and it's time to go get a route I missed in the last video. It's time to head all the way south on the Route 792 service to the historic town of Evandale. This trip will take us about 45 minutes to travel out of the urban area into the northern Midlands region. Once we get there, I'll have about 10 minutes to look around before getting back on the bus and heading to Lonnie. The service is operated by Tasialink Transit. Hi there, quick update. I've made it to the beautiful town of Evandale. I'm gonna get straight back on the bus pretty much. There's about 10 minutes till it leaves again. I was really hoping to end the series here, but I could not get a good timetable to do that on the last day, so we're here now. Now, time to go back to Launceston and then back up to Lagana where we started. Well, not started, but we were like 2 hours ago. Welcome back to Launceston. It hasn't been too long for you, but it's been about 2 hours since I was last here. It's time to head out on the last of the West Tamar routes, the 780. This fully duplicates the 782 minus the deviation to Nibelius Drive. This is an hourly service operated by Mannion's coaches. Alright, time to blast through our last two routes for the day. The 160 and 161 run along Westbury Road towards Prospect Vale. The 160 terminates at the Country Club Casino, while the 161 continues along to a loop in the suburb of Blackstone Heights. I'll catch the 161 out through the loop and back to the casino where I'll get off. I'll then wait an hour for the 160 to come collect me and take me back to Launceston. A bonus, my bus on the 161 is Met 225, the old free Tiger bus. I caught all 4 routes on that end to end back in October 2025 when the service was cut by the Launceston City Council, which you can go back and watch on my channel. So without further delay, let's ride our last 2 routes for the day. Now that was the last route of this day, but the keen-eyed of you may have noticed one route is missing. The 121 runs 6 days a week, but its full length is only on Saturdays, so we'll be back in just a second to ride the very last route. The 121 is operated by Metro and runs from Launceston to St Leonards via Ravenswood and Waverley. It operates a sparse weekday timetable, only running the Waverley and Ravenswood section in the early morning and late evening, but on Saturdays it runs every 2 hours through the day, all the way to St Leonards. Hello, good morning. Time to ride the last bus route of this challenge, the 121 to St Leonards via Ravenswood. I'm at City Interchange stop B1, there's no one else around, the bus leaves in about 15 minutes. So I'll see you again at the end of the last bus route in Launceston. Hello! I have just finished the last bus route in Launceston. Well, there's a few exceptions which I'll get to later, but this is the end of the challenge. I'm gonna go get some food and I'll sit down, I'll discuss more with you. Hello! I'm at the St Leonard's Village Green, which is a very empty park. Time to talk about what's happened. So, over the last, well, not the last 5 days, over 5 days, I've caught every bus route in Launceston, which has a little asterisk next to it, which we will come to in a second. This took a lot of time, a lot of planning, but luckily it cost me a total of $0 thanks to the Tasmanian government's free public transport scheme, which is amazing. It was originally a 3-month thing, which I've tried to do the whole challenge within that time, but luckily got extended for a full year, so I wasn't in any hurry to do the rest of it. So, let's talk about the routes I didn't do. I excluded a few routes, including ones that go too far out of the city, and ones that only run on school days. So, school days routes, the two ones I excluded for that, just off memory, are the 781 and the 795. The 781 runs from North Riverside to Launceston City and back. It only runs once a day on school days. Fun fact, I actually caught it not for this challenge, but during the period, and I did film it. It's not going to be part of this video, but I'll put a clip up right now, and if I ever do a video where I ride the routes I didn't count in this one, those clips will go into there. So, the other route, 795, which is an express run from Cressy, which we went to in episode 2, out to the Launceston City and up to Riverside. It's a mess of a route. So, the other routes are the ones that went too far out of the city for me to count. There's a fair few of these, so hold with me. In the West Tamar, there's the 784 to Rowella, the 787 to, Beaconsfield, and the 788 to Beauty Point. Then there's the East Tamar services. The 770, the 771, and the 772 run from Launceston to Georgetown, and in the case of the second to Low Head. And then there's the services that are a lot less urban. There's the 762, which runs to Mole Creek, which is excluded for school days only, and also it goes way too far. But I really want to do a video on that one, because it's a bendy bus, and it goes through some very scenic areas, and it also runs once a day, and at the terminus there's some odd railway infrastructure. Oh, I hear a train. The Tasrail Western Line runs about 2 kilometres from here, so you can hear trains at times. So, the other routes, there's the 705, the 702, and the 700, which are intercity services. I've caught all of them in videos before, and they're also intercity, which doesn't count as Launceston. Then there's the last 3 routes, the 775, the 776, and the 777, which, yet again, I was tempted to include the 775 and the 776, because especially the 776 is a commuter-oriented route for students in Launceston, and it runs at times for that, but also that would involve being stuck in Bridport overnight, which is a long way, and yet again, this is a long distance from Launceston. These aren't close, and the 777 out to Derby goes a long way, a lot further than the commuting distance, and can't be used for commuting. Oh yeah, also, honorary mention the 740, which also runs here. Yeah. So if you want to see me come back and ride those routes, or at least the ones of them that I haven't already caught, I can maybe throw in clips of the other ones to make this a video similar to these ones. Comment down below, I guess. This has been a crazy challenge. I'm in St Leonard's of all places, which is a kind of half suburb, half town. I've got an hour and a bit until my bus back to Launceston, because the 121 is a very infrequent route. It also only runs on Saturdays, which I'm sure you've already been told by previous me. So yeah, I will see you in the next video. As the end screen pops up here, shout out to Derwent Transit for making a Hobart-based series of this. They have a lot more to film and were the inspiration for this, along with a few other creators' videos. So thanks for them, and thank for you to watching this video, and I'll see you next time on Tasmanian.